The silence inside the chamber was deadly, a heavy cloak that seemed to smother every breath. King Edagon's eyes, once filled with the wisdom of a ruler, now burned with a cold and forgiving fury. Standing before him, Prince Adesoji held his ground, his posture tall and unyielding, defiance etched into every line of his face. Caught between them, Amara's knees felt weak, almost giving way. The tension in the room was a physical thing, thick and suffocating, making it hard to breathe. "Father," Adesoji's voice cut through the stillness, surprisingly steady for a man facing a king's wrath. "You were the one who taught me that true power means control. But look at this. What control is this? You've let your pain fester, twisting it into a dangerous obsession that consumes you." The king's face, already a mask of stone, seemed to harden even further. The lines around his mouth tightened. "You speak like a naive boy," he sneered, "a boy who has never felt the weight of a crown on his head." "No," Adesoji retorted, his voice rising with passion. "I speak like a son who is sick and tired of watching his own father destroy everything and everyone he touches." The words hung in the air, a direct challenge. Slowly, deliberately, the king took one step forward. It was a predator's move, measured and menacing. "Be careful, Adesoji." The warning was low, a rumble of thunder before the storm. "Or what?" The prince shot back, refusing to be intimidated. "Will you throw me in the dungeon too? Is that your answer for everyone who dares to question your judgment?" A flicker of movement. The king's hand twitched. For a terrifying second, Amara thought he might strike his own son. But instead, his gaze shifted, his hand gesturing slightly toward her. "Go to your chamber," he commanded her, his tone heavy with a dangerous finality that sent a shiver down her spine. But Amara didn't move. She couldn't. Her feet felt rooted to the polished stone floor. She looked from the king to the prince, from the father to the son. She saw two men, both burning with a fierce intensity, both broken in their own ways. Blinded by something far deeper and more complex than simple anger. "Your Majesty, please," she whispered, her voice barely audible but filled with desperation. "Don't do this, not here, not like this." Adesoji turned to her then, and for a moment, the fire in his eyes softened, replaced by a look of concern and empathy. "Amara," he said gently, "you don't have to fear him anymore. His reign of fear is ending." But the king's voice sliced through the air like a whip. "Enough." He took another determined stride toward his son, his intent clear. But this time, Amara reacted. Mustering every ounce of courage she possessed, she moved, stepping directly into the path between them. She was trembling, a fragile barrier against a raging tempest, but her stance was firm. "Please," she begged, her eyes pleading with them both. "If you destroy each other, this palace, this entire kingdom, will fall with you." For a single, suspended heartbeat, the room went still. The shouting stopped. The fury paused. The king's piercing eyes met hers, and in their depths, she saw something she hadn't expected. It wasn't just anger. It wasn't the lust he'd shown her before. It was a raw, profound pain, a glimpse into the wounded heart of the man beneath the crown. Then he spoke, his voice quiet, almost a whisper, yet carrying more weight than any shout. "You think you can stop a storm by standing in the rain, Amara?" It was a question, but it felt like a prophecy. Without waiting for an answer, he turned away from them. His shoulders slumped for just a moment before squaring them again. The king once more, to the royal guards waiting anxiously outside the chamber doors. He barked a command. "Take the prince to his quarters. Post a guard. No one enters or leaves until I give the order." Amara's heart shattered into 1,000 pieces as she watched the guards seize Adesoji. They were rough, efficient, dragging him away from her, away from his father. The prince didn't struggle, but his last words echoed down the long, empty corridor, a final, defiant cry. "You can lock me up, father, but you can't stop the truth from finding you. You can't escape it." The heavy oak door slammed shut, the sound booming like a death knell, sealing the prince's fate and leaving a chilling finality in the air. The silence that returned was worse than before, filled with the ghosts of the words that had been spoken. Slowly, the king turned to face Amara again. She was alone with him now, trapped in the vast, imposing chamber. He walked toward her until he was standing just a few feet away, his shadow falling over her. His voice, when he spoke, dropped to a chilling whisper that was meant for her ears alone. "You've chosen your side tonight, Amara," he said, his gaze pinning her in place. "I only hope, for your sake, that you chose wisely." And with that parting shot, he turned and walked out, his footsteps echoing in the cavernous room, leaving her trembling in the suffocating silence. She was trapped, caught between two raging fires. And she knew, with a dreadful certainty, that they were about to burn the whole kingdom to the ground.